Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials. Good morning, it's 6:30 on Friday the 2nd of April. Just making my way down to the land, and as always, not quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Well, here we are down on the land. It's a cold morning this morning, but it's nice to see all of the hedgerows and other bushes and trees starting to leaf, or in some cases like these popping out these wonderful little catkins. They are nice, very nice to see. Shouldn't have done that because my camera's gone blurry. What's going on? Focus, thank you. It's been a weird week weather-wise. If you saw my little community post earlier in the week, I popped down after work to pop some water on the plants because we had ridiculously high temperatures. In fact, there were record-breaking temperatures, I think, since the highest March temperature since, I think it was 1968 or something ridiculous like that. And now it's gone the other way, and they're forecasting snow on Sunday. It'll make its mind up. Anyway, I'll keep you posted with what I'm up to this weekend. The big exciting news, I guess, will be at some point we're going to have chickens in the chicken coop, so something there to look forward to. For now, I'm going to get myself opened up, put a kettle on and make myself a cup of coffee, and then I'll keep you posted with everything as we go along. Did you see those ducks? They want to be in my chicken coop. Or should I rephrase that and say I want them to be in my chicken coop? Anyway, let me get opened up, and I'll catch up with you during the course of the video. Well, good morning. If you're surprised to see me on a Friday, that's because we've got a bank holiday weekend. So we're off work today, which is very nice. Gives me a bit of an extended weekend. Plenty of stuff to be doing today in preparation for the chickens' arrival. Got to get the bedding sorted out in the nest boxes, and some wood shavings or straw on the floor of the coop itself. Still got to sort out the pen and put some little assault course type materials in there for them to clamber around and play on. Food and water. It's quite a big list actually, just in the coop. I want to take a look around the growing areas, have a look at how my seedlings are coming on. I've also picked up an extra battery for the solar system on the cabin, so I'll need to cable that into the existing battery bank. So yeah, lots of stuff. Whether I'll actually achieve that today or not remains to be seen. Top priority really is to pop to a local chicken breeder and see if we can't pick up some chickens. It's a cold day today. It's been a weird week. I think I mentioned that earlier on the way in. We had 2 days during the week where it was huge temperatures for this time of the year. But unfortunately today it's dropped. Indeed, it's halved. We're sitting at, it's 11 degrees right now in the cabin. So yeah, don't quite know what's happening with the weather. They're forecasting snow at the weekend. I can't say I'm really looking forward to that, if it's true. You never know with the weather forecast. Hope everyone's doing well wherever you are. In terms of news, COVID continues, 31 million plus vaccinated here in the UK. On a wider note, lots of activity on YouTube and virtually nothing at all in the mainstream media about food supply chains and potential shortages this year. It'll be interesting to see how that does play out. There was a bit of activity, you'll remember, a week or so ago with the big shipping crisis in the Suez. Container ship got stuck. That's been cleared. However, never been shy to take advantage of a crisis. You might have noticed the oil price has spiked over recent weeks. You just know that's not going to go down, even though the shipping issue has been resolved. There's always an excuse to put prices up. And on that note, I would take a keen interest in prices this year, not just for food, but for pretty much everything. Definitely at some point this year, we'll start to see the return of austerity. So just keep your eye on prices, and as always, stock up on things that are essential, and particularly stock up on food and other sort of basic necessities. Apart from that, there's not a great deal going on. Everything seems to be fairly peaceable around the world. There was a little flicker on social media. I've not had a chance this morning to take a deeper look. Reports about Russian tanks massing on the border of Ukraine. Don't know whether that's true or not. But I'll be having a dig around on news and social media later today just to take a little look. A point to note from history, it's particularly relevant for me. Nothing to do with prepping at all, though I guess it is if you were there at the time. Today, back in, it seems a long time ago now, 1982, I was in the military at that time, in Germany actually, on exercise, or manoeuvres as some countries call it. And we got woken up in the early hours of the morning to say we were deploying back to the UK to join a task force. And I think I was, what was I then? 20 years old, something like that, 19 years old. Yeah, 19. God, it is a long time ago. Because the Argentinians had invaded the Falkland Islands, which are a British dependency, and still are a British dependency, and always will be a British dependency. So yeah, we returned to the UK overnight to prepare to set sail on a clunky old car ferry, 8,000 miles to the Falklands. Happy days. Anyway, I digress. I'll keep you posted with events today around the cabin and the garden and the coop, and hopefully at some point I'll be disappearing off for an hour or so and coming back with some chickens. So fingers crossed I find what I want, and you're seeing some pictures of chickens deploying in the coop today. Anyway, let me get this coffee down me, and I'll catch up with you as we go through the video today. Thought I'd start off with a quick run round. No sign yet of the potatoes, which is not surprising, they've only been in a week or two. Cauliflower, going to get something off these this year, I'm fairly sure. You watch, I've said that now, the pigeons will come and eat them. Again, it's a bit too early for that those new onion sets to be coming through, but I know they're there and I know they're on the way. Garlic's looking really good. They won't be too far off from being able to be harvested. I might have a little peek at those over the weekend. Polytunnel, oh, I keep walking past this. This is a bucket of wild garlic that my mate Covid Hunter gave me. I'm going to pop that over in that wooded area somewhere at some point. So many things to do. Strawberries looking real good, real healthy. Lots of new growth coming there. Blueberry bush the same, doing very well, both of them, the old one and the young one. Fig, lots of leaves now showing on those, as there are with the fruit trees. So really pleased with those, really pleased. My swede seedlings doing very well. Something's been having a nibble though, which is quite surprising so early on. Don't quite know what that is, but yeah, they're all looking really nice and healthy. So an early start with those. It is cool out here today, I'll tell you. My nose is running. Have a little look in the garden room. See how we're doing in there. Well, seedlings are all pretty much as they was last weekend. Marigolds, we've got the proper leaves coming now, these little serrated ones on most of the seedlings. Looks like those lavender cuttings have taken, which is good. What we got in here, I think this is true potato seeds. They're doing really well now, coming on very well, getting their second set of leaves even on most of them. They'll want potting on at some point. I'm expecting this one's going to be empty because it's I reseeded that with more peas, and again it's a bit early really for those to be coming through. Cabbage doing very well. Not as many as I'd hoped, but they're there, which is what counts. And similarly, the cauliflower. We've actually got an extra one there now that wasn't there last weekend, that little tiny one. So again, they're doing okay. The latest plantings, we've actually got one through, look. Little tiny. If you can see that or not, look there. We've actually got one showing. That's oh, it's broccoli. I'm amazed with that because they've only been in a week. Anyway, I digress. Carrots, they are coming through now, extra ones. We've got one tiny one in that bucket which had nothing in it originally, and that was the very first bucket that went in back on the when was that, 16th of January. But these other buckets, we're getting some good growth on those now, quite a lot of seedlings showing through. But I guess the big story really is these potatoes. I mean, look at the size of these. There's a good, what's that, nearly 3 inches of growth on those. Couple of inches growth on those, and look at these. These have gone absolutely crazy. 6th of February they went in, and God, 5 inches, 6 inches, that's probably more like 7 or 8 inches on that one. So they're ready really for banking up, and probably these are as well. So yeah, really pleased with the amount of growth on these potatoes. I'm surprised that I'm going to be needing to bank them up so early, but I will. I'll cover those over today and just encourage a bit more growth up below the soil. So that's the plantings. Apart from a little bit of disappointment with those very early seeds, everything's coming on well now. So I'll get myself sorted out and do a little bit of work in the chicken coop. Well, I'm just messing about in the chicken run, the pen part, just assembling a few larger size branches, and I've just fastened 2 of these together just so it makes a little area for them to climb up on. I've done that in fallen tree rather than wood, just to make it look a bit more natural, really. Chicken watering system is up and ready to go. I've got another smaller waterer which I'll probably put inside the coop itself, along with a feeder. I've got another little feeder to go outside here. It is actually smaller, way smaller than I thought it was going to be. That's the joy of eBay, when you look at a picture instead of looking at the article in your hand. In terms of the coop itself, got a bit of a mixture of bedding here. I've got some of this, it's oilseed rape straw, and then I've got wood shavings, and finally I've got sawdust, which I use for the composting toilet. So a bit of a mixture here to go on the floor and in the actual nest boxes itself. So I'll get cracking and fill those up, and we'll be not far off ready for chickens. One thing I am conscious of for the first, I don't know, couple of weeks maybe, we'll see how we get on, I'm conscious of that door. I'm just wondering if I should make some kind of sliding hatch to cover that over, just for the first few days while they're getting used to their surroundings, rather than them being tempted to sit out all night. I don't know, I'll have a little think, but for now I'm just going to get this coop area sorted out with some decent absorbent material for the floor, and something comfy for them to sit on in the nest boxes. So I've got my little scrambly assault course out for them. I'll add some more bits and pieces to that once I have a chance to watch the chickens in the run and see what they do and don't do. Popped a little feeder down there just to give them something to go at outside food wise, and then inside in the coop, let's just shut this. This wind's picking up today. Looking at the sky, I think we might be getting a bit of rain shortly, which I don't really want, but hey. So there we go. We've got bedding on the floor, and just tucked around the side of the door here I've got water and feed. And then in the nest boxes we've got this nice little straw. Hopefully that will encourage them to nest build. So we're about ready for some chickens. Still lots of stuff to do in general. I've got a pile of wood and pallets that I'm busy working my way through. I've got lots of offcuts from the construction that I'll be turning into firewood. And I'm just debating what I can do outside the coop door here. I might pop a pallet down there just to give a bit of a step into the coop, and something to stop me trailing mud in and out when I go to sort the coop out. But there we go. It's ready for chickens. Well, that's a little step up made for the chicken coop, just to try and reduce the amount of mud that gets trailed inside. It's only made out of scrap wood, but now it's painted, actually it doesn't look too bad, and it'll do the job. So all we need now is some chickens. That means I've got to disappear off in the car for, I don't know, an hour or so. So I'll get back to you shortly. Well, I'm not sure how well you'll see this, but we're going for the grand unveiling. I've closed off the outside door to the chicken pen for now. I'm just a bit conscious it's a new environment for them. They've not been here before, and I just want to give them a day to get used to the new surroundings. Tomorrow I'll be down all day, and I can open it and let them out into the pen. So I'm not sure what's going to happen now. There'll be a lot of clucking, squawking and possibly flying around, but here you go, here's the great unveiling. Hello chickens, they're all squatted down, hiding from me. Right, let's tease you out gently, come on. Come on. There you go. There you go. Come on then. Let's have a look. There we go. That's one down and one to go. These are called bluebells, these chickens. Let's have the daddy out. I'm sure he won't be as gentle. There you go. Come on. Out you go. There we are. How was that? I'll take the camera off the tripod so you can see them a little bit better now that they're out of the box. So there we go. They're getting used to their new surroundings. One cockerel, 4 hens. Just waiting to see if they discover where the water is and the food. Yeah, cockerel's sussed it out, I think. Yeah, he's happy. They've not discovered the water yet, which is right next to it. I'm sure it won't be long though. But they found the food, so that's good. Chicken, it's at the bottom of the water, not the top. We're all having a good roam around. They seem fairly settled. They're not used to having somebody stood next to them talking, I'm feeling fairly sure of that. Yeah, one of them's discovered the water. so that's good. And they've all discovered the corn. Yeah, they're all seeming quite relaxed now. I don't know what that one's eating. There's only sawdust on the floor. I think the cockerel's a bit hungry. He's not moved from that feeder since he discovered it. Just waiting for somebody to look at the water. No, they're all interested in the corn. So there we go, chickens installed. And they seem quite content now. It's been a bit of a journey for them in the box in the back of the car, but I'll leave them alone for a little while just to get used to the surroundings. As I say, I've blocked that door off deliberately just for this first day until they get used to the coop itself, and then they can start roaming outside tomorrow. But they have food and water, which is the main thing. I'll just check everything before I disappear today, make sure that it's all okay. Let's see if we can get a little close-up shot of one of these chickens for you. There we go, that's better. Beautiful looking cockerel, that. And the hens themselves also, a really nice colour, with the dark head and the grey gradually fading out as it gets towards the tail. Pretty birds. The cockerel's discovered the water. That's good. You can show the rest where it is then, Mr. Cockerel. Right, I'll leave these alone now, let them get de-stressed. See if they discover the nest boxes or not. I'll come back later, chickens. Well, there we go. The chickens are installed in the coop. It's gone 12 o'clock already. I can't believe how quick the day's going. Okay, I lost an hour and a bit going to get the chickens. But yeah, the days just fly by so quickly. It's unbelievable. That's my neighbour's chicken crowing. I think he heard my cockerel crowing earlier, and he's thinking, who's that? We'll be having a competition, I think, later on today between the two to see who's got the biggest voice. Anyway, I wanted to get a quick coffee down me before I get cracking with the rest of the jobs for today. I'll leave the chickens in the coop until I go home, just to make sure that they're relaxed and settled and they get used to the new surroundings in there. And then tomorrow, I'll be down all day tomorrow, so I'll open up the door. I'm just listening to them. I'll open up the door and they can have their first taste of outdoor freedom, because the chicken nursery farm, whatever you want to call it, breeder, they're just at Point de Lay now, so they're what, between 12 and 16 weeks. And they've only been indoors in a, it's like a small miniature barn. So that's going to be an experience for them, going outside tomorrow, out into the big wide world and seeing the sky and the trees. I can't wait. In terms of the rest of the day today, A few jobs, I mentioned some earlier. I'll be doing a bit in the garden room, banking up those potatoes. It's amazing how quick they're starting to go now. The difference between last weekend and this weekend is a good few inches, which is real exciting. So I'll get those banked up. The battery, the new battery, is still sat in its box on the floor, so I need to get that in. You might remember, if you're a regular viewer, over the winter, the solar system, which it had 2 batteries on, then it went to 3 batteries. So that was, what, 330 amp hours of storage. But with the dark months over winter, the voltage on the batteries was dropping. It normally sits around 14 and a half. And it had dropped down to 12 and a half. In fact, one day it went down to 12.3. So I am conscious that I do need more storage, particularly long term, if I'm going to be using heating over winter, whether that's the diesel heater or the that small tubular electric heater I installed under the kitchen sink. They will demolish the battery power in the battery bank. So the intent is gradually this year to try and just build up. So I've got another battery that'll give me 440 amp hour capacity in the system, and we'll see. These are not, they're not cheap items, panels or batteries, and I'm conscious with the chicken coop build and the chickens and the feed and all of the rest that's gone with getting the chickens. I've spent a bit more than I thought I would, as you always do. So we'll see how we get on the rest of this year, but it would be nice to get another panel or 2 on the roof, just to give it that bit more oomph in winter in terms of putting the power back into the battery bank. And who knows, I might even be able to squeeze another battery, I'll see shortly, I guess, into that cabinet. If not, there's always the next cabinet at the side. But it would be nice before next winter to have a bit more battery capacity. Other things, I was out there earlier, you'll have seen me fabricating that little step for the coop out of some scrap wood. While I was doing that, I kept glancing at the garden room, and I couldn't help but notice that window that got broken right at the start when we installed the garden room, or constructed the garden room. And it's been bugging me week after week after week. When I look from here, I can see the window to the garden room, and having that broken pane, it was annoying me. But it's one of those jobs that you just haven't got round to doing. And there is always one last job, and I just keep getting distracted. But today I'll have a go. I've got some Perspex. That's like hen's teeth, that, getting hold of Perspex sheeting, but I have got some. And I should be able to fabricate a pane to go into that window out of that Perspex. So that would be nice to have that sealed up, just at the wrong time. As the weather's warming up, I'm cutting out the drafts. It's the wrong way around. But anyway, it'll get done, I hope, today. Anyway, I digress, as usual. Hope you're all doing fine. I'll keep you posted with whatever jobs I do get up to for the rest of the day, but the day is flying by, so I do need to get cracking. Otherwise, I'll get nothing else done. I'll keep you posted in the video as we go along, and let me get this coffee down me, and I'll see you later. Well, this is that battery I was talking about. You've seen this on previous videos. Comes complete with an absolute load of packaging. Yeah, can't get my fingers in for all this polystyrene. But it's good because it's protecting the battery. I didn't think I was going to get that out. out of the way. So there we go. Nice low height 110 amp hour battery. These are heavy, and when you get these, they have some little plastic bungs in the side that you have to take out. It's like a little vent, so they need to come out. So there's the battery. You'll know if you're a regular subscriber. I've got my battery cabinet inside. I'll just pull the camera off the tripod so you can have a quick look at the mess. A cupboard's for storing at the end of the day, so let me just grab the camera and we'll have a little whiz into here. So you'll have seen this in previous videos if you're a regular subscriber. Right now I've got three 110 amp hour 12 volt batteries, all connected. So the idea is I'm going to bury the other one down the side here. These will just need shuffling slightly to one side, and I'll get that connected in the same way as I've done with these. I've got the cables on the cabinet up there, so it's a fairly straightforward job. It's just fiddly because you've got to dismantle everything to get the new battery into the right position cable wise, so it's a constant flow through. You can't just attach it anywhere. They've all got to be connected in sequence. So I'll get cracking with that. It's a bit boring for videoing, but I'll give you some little updates as I go along. Well, it's knowing what to do first. And I guess with the weather being the way it is, I'll do the solar first. I'll just disconnect these two, which is the main power in from the bank of panels into the cabin, because you can't have the charge controller on with the batteries disconnected. So I'll disconnect the panels, and then it's a race then to get the batteries installed and back connected again before I lose the light. The other things I'm not worried about, I can do inside, but I need to get this done first, I think. Well, they say the best laid plans of mice and men. I've had to rotate these batteries round. Because of cable lengths, I couldn't do what I wanted to do and just slot the battery, the new one, down the side. So I'm having to rejig the whole thing, and luckily 4 will fit across the cabinet, which is really good. So I need to split off this one, shuffle it along, drop the new battery in, and then reconnect up the batteries, and then reconnect up the solar and the power out feed. It's a bit of a nightmare, but we're making progress, and that's what counts. Well, that's the batteries in place. They just need connecting up now with their little maze of wires, which is easier said than done, but we're still making progress. Well, that was a bit of a chew, especially trying to reroute the existing wiring around the back here, but it's in, and on the charge controller we're showing battery, which is good. I just need to connect the solar panel up now, and we should be in business, hopefully. Well, the panel's connected back up, so let's take a little look, see what we've got on the charge controller. Whew, everything takes a lot longer than you expect it to. I didn't anticipate having to reroute all the batteries, but yeah, we're okay. We've got 14.4 volts in the battery. We've got power coming from the solar to the battery and then out to load. The load is the Wi-Fi. I don't know if you'll see that or not on here. Can you see that green? So that means the Wi-Fi is working, which means my cameras are working, which is what's most important. I just need to tidy up now. It's looking a bit of a mess in here. Everything just strewn around, but we'll soon get that sorted out, and then we can move on to the next job. time is whizzing by. It's nearly 2 o'clock, so I need to get moving. Okay, so onward and upward. The broken window. That was a pain getting these strips of wood out. They were nailed in with small panel pins. So they're out. I've just measured up. So I'm going to cut some plastic sheet, which is not easy either. Cutting plastic. But we've got the sheet, so I'm going to measure up on the sheet and see if I can't get a pane cut to the right size. Ooh, first cut. Now it needs just trimming to size. It's always difficult cutting plastic because it wants to snap and split. But so far so good. Well, that's the plastic sheet cut. Let's take a little look. This is a bit brave, doing it live. Okay, here we go. So far so good. Yep, we're in. Just needs nailing in place. Excellent. Let's get it done. Yes. Well, that's the new window in, and to be fair, it's not looking bad at all. You wouldn't know any different unless you tap it, because it sounds different. But yeah, I'm pleased with that. It's a job that's needed doing for a while, and today's the day we finally got round to it. As usual, there's always one last job. I'm going to quickly give these Swedes a watering, and then I'll pop into the garden room, mound up those potatoes. I have got some more seeds to plant as well. So I'll do this and I'll see you in the garden room shortly. Well, final thing for today. We'll get some mounding up done on these potatoes. It's not exciting video, but it is exciting knowing that my potatoes are doing well. Just got to work it under the foliage of the plants, fill in all the little gaps. Just remember that my little label I'll just leave a little tiny bit peeking out the top. So it gets a bit of sunlight to help it on its way. I think that'll do that one. I'll do these others and it'll be a good job done. These are much bigger in this bucket for some reason, so there's quite a bit of earthing up to do on this one. For some reason this bucket has just gone completely crackers. I'm wondering if it's a different variety that doesn't mind being a little bit cooler when they're starting off. It's hard to remember because these are shop bought potatoes and they don't always have the variety marked on the label, but wherever they are, I'm very pleased with them because they're performing outstandingly well. Really well. I'm just letting some of the leaves peek out. A bit of sunlight on them and just encourage the growth a bit. Well, that's that job done. Excellent. So, as always, one last thing. A couple of people commented on I think it was last weekend's video. I don't know what prompted it, whether it was the chickens or whether it was the planting, but Paul Oakes and Dave Smith both commented about something called borage. Now I have to confess, I wasn't really familiar with borage, and I did a little bit of looking on the internet, and lo and behold, it just kind of goes to show that you're always learning. Borage, apparently, it's a herb, and I've actually bought some borage seeds. Just got these off eBay. I just typed in borage and there was loads of them. But you can use it for lots of different things. Now, Paul was saying feed the chickens with it because it's quite strong growing and it'll save on feed. And Dave was pointing out the seeds or the plants have medicinal properties. What I also found was that a bit like comfrey, you can use borage as a organic fertiliser. You just put the leaves into water, make like a tea out of it, and then sprinkle it on your plants as a fertiliser. So I'm going to give these a bit of a go. Again, this soil, I just watered this and it's bone dry underneath. I think I'll do this individually. I'll pop these seeds in and we'll see how we get on. I've never grown these before, so I have no clue how well they might go, but apparently they do like wet soil, and since we're in clay it doesn't get much wetter. Bit of therapeutics for you, watching seeds going in the holes. Oh, there's a stray one there. It is unbelievable how quickly this compost dries out. It really is. You water it, you come back an hour or so later and it's bone dry again. Unbelievable. Good thing about these is they're quite big seeds. So it's not quite as painful as it could be. It's not like carrot seeds, which are a complete nightmare to try and plant on your fingers. So, how's it been for you today? A little bit different with the chickens making the appearance. I am really excited to finally have my own livestock. It's another step on the road to self-sufficiency, because not only will they give me eggs, but later down the line, once I start gaining experience, having the hens and the cockerel means that in theory we can look forward to our own baby chickens at some point. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't you know it? I need one more. There we go. So that's our borage going in. Just tuck these down a little bit. Make sure the seed's in contact with the soil all around it. And we'll get yet more water onto this, and then it'll be about time to be going. Well, it's that time, it's 4 o'clock already, but everything's looking okay. The pen is ready for the chickens to play tomorrow. Just take one quick little look in here, see what they're up to. This is where I've got to get in the habit of being careful now to make sure. Hello Chuckies. Yep, they're all fine. Water, feed is fine. I'll see you tomorrow. If I sound excited with these chickens, it's because I am. It is nice to have finally livestock on the field. Everything's locked up, my wood pile is shrinking. I'm going to make some good use of those pallets over coming weeks. That little quick fix I did today is actually not looking too bad at all, that little step into the coop. Anyway, we're all locked up. that was mine. Bye. Cockerel saying bye to me. Anyway, we're all locked up. I've got to get myself off home, see how many years it takes for this video to load up. Hopefully you will get it tonight, and we'll do it all over again tomorrow. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe, take care, and I'll catch you later. Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. How's the chickens looking? I don't know what you were expecting colour-wise, but how do they look? I think they look really beautiful actually, even though they are dark in colour. That little change in shade that just makes them look real pretty. But let me know what you think, and let me know also what you think about the coop and the pen. Is there anything else I need to be doing in there? What are you doing? Have you got chickens? If you have, what kind have you got, and what have you got in your pen for entertainment for them? Let me know in the comment section below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.